Welcome to Freaky Friday, where we dare to talk about taboo topics like fetish, bondage, sex, vibrators, and more. This isn't your dad's Friday night programming, but your mom loves it. Welcome to Freaky Friday, hosted by Mr. Anderson, who is the unboxable, uncanny advocating creator known as the Indie Comics Devil, who will tempt you with his devilish tales of fetish, monsters, and more. Also the giver of free hugs and spankings. Also hosted by content creator Meredith Logren. You never know what's lurking inside of her head. She is also a host of many amazing programs live through Geek Insider. Today, everyone watching this program will get virtual free hugs and spanks. It's time to get on with the show. Welcome to Freaky Friday. That's right. Check out underneath your seats. The free hugs and spanks are already there. I'm like Oprah. You have to administer them to yourself for me, though, while I watch. Yeah.
Wow.
How's everyone doing? Special Freaky Friday. Of all things, we ran into some, I don't know how you would phrase it exactly. We'll just put it out there after we do the intros, but we're going to get to it. It's something weird happened in the middle of this campaign. We're gonna talk about it as a general thing, not as a finger-pointing thing. But go ahead, guys. Go around the room, introduce yourself. Everyone knows who I am, and everyone knows Meredith's Linktree explains everything about her existence.
Thanks, Rob. All right, I'm Meredith Logren. I am the associate editor over at Geek Insider, as well as the executive producer of the Geek Insider podcast, one of the partners of CONTINUUM Comics, and writer and just adding more and more credits to my name. And also, this is a crossover with RAGIN, because Friday nights is when we normally do that. RAGIN with my good friend here, Nita Lanning. And I'm going to pass the mic to her so she can introduce herself.
My name is Nita Lanning. I can be found on social media as Creating Chaos 24/7. I am a partner of CONTINUUM Comics with an X, and I am here to have a good time. And I want to go to this dude over here.
There's nobody over there. You point that.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. I'm
Look
sorry.
Mm-hmm. Amateur. Hey.
I'll mute him and I'll finish my intro. I am a writer, vlogger, blogger. No. All right, go ahead.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. Is that what that feels like? Hey, I'm C. Michael Lanning. Of course, you know me. I'm an independent artist, co-anchor of Week Ended with Meredith Logren. Also artist on Reaper and apparently Karma, that's also in the Continuum. If you haven't backed it, it's getting close, guys. Go back it. And I've never been on this show before, so, be gentle.
But not too gentle.
Wrong show.
Wrong show for gentle.
Yeah, we only bite with permission.
Yeah, well, I was going to say we have to get him to first consent to things. Wasn't there drinks around? Like, I heard that's really easy way to get consent. That's a joke. Do not send a letter. That was only.
I need an HR department.
To HR.
No, that was a sarcastic comment to how you shouldn't actually play, guys. But we're not here for BDSM 101 tonight. We could do that one night if you want. Write in, tell us you want us to go over that one night. I'd be happy to do that, actually. What we're doing tonight is we're talking about the Continuum. And the reason that this crosses over with our show Freaky Friday is because Barbara wound up going inside the Continuum. For those who don't know, Barbara is part of a story called Barbara Unleashed, and it's her journey through the New York City fetish underground. A few years ago, I happened to do this story, which was a crossover between Barbara, Into the Suck, and Manny the Wolf, which, by the way, the third monster book is finally coming out this year. So I'm pretty excited about that. So then Manny's series will be greenlit by the end of the year. So I have 2 more books coming out that you guys are just finding about now. This was made to be a tongue-in-cheek story for the Advocator. And of course, now that I'm working on the Continuum, it felt right to bring it home, but expand it into a 6-page story. I won't explain the whole details. We'll do the Law and Order thing. People's names have been changed to protect the innocent. Well, not so innocent. Not innocent at all, but we're not going to cause drama here. We're just going to have a conversation about this. Someone decided that this being in there warranted it being adult content. Everyone who's read this will laugh their ass off at the fact that this is adult content. It is completely tongue-in-cheek. if you were to make this a movie just by itself, it'd be a very short movie, mind you, it's 6 pages, but the movie would be rated PG. That is how low it would be. It wouldn't even classify as an R. Barbara Unleashed, the story, for all those who haven't read it, could actually get a PG-13. Despite its content, it would be right between PG-13 and R, depending on who rated it that day. Realistically speaking, because we've seen them go both ways. It's not a lot of nudity, but you get a lot of people who want to talk about this by just the pure appearance. Well, it has to be something, you know, dirty and scandalous and porn. And I wanted to talk about that today, that knee-jerk reaction where someone turned around and said, well, it's adult content. Well, I wanted to actually define what's adult content. Because to me, adult content, then we're going to throw on adult content. If you murder someone in your book in a gruesome fashion, that should be adult content. Yet I see that, and I see these creators making big banners of heads decapitated, and no one says anything. And to me, that is more scarring than my free hugs and spank sign, which apparently has threatened some masculinity on the internet. Just because you guys don't know how to please women, don't take it out on me. I'm just putting it out there. Read a book. There's a lot of books on how to please women now. There's even machinery, guys. You guys use machinery to fix cars. It's okay to use it in the bedroom. I know it intimidates you. I know it's bigger than you. It can last longer than you. But that's exactly the point. So I'm going to open it up to everyone in the room. You guys experienced this. We're not going to talk about the who, the why, or we're only going to talk about the how. And how it made you feel to hear, like, someone hadn't read this clearly. Everyone in the room, I think except C, has not read this. And we could actually send it over to see if
No, I've actually read this.
Oh, so you have read it?
I've read this, yes.
Oh, so awesome.
So I know how ridiculous it is to say that, yeah.
To see this as adult. I was blown away, like, really? This is it. This is your line in the sand. This is adult. Then you're a child. If you think this is adult, you're a child because you didn't read it first. I know for a fact the person didn't read it. Absolutely. And then, you know, it's the people will be like, well, I have to worry about my wholesome image. I hate when people try to hide behind that. Your image, your wholesome image? Mm-hmm. Like, really? Like, does anyone think no one's having sex? I never understood that. And I know that there are lines, and I know there's a comfort, and I know about, you know, the whole idea of, well, I can't do this because people might judge me. And trust me, I understand the judginess of it. But aren't we losing when we let closed-minded people define who we can be?
Right.
Isn't that the horrible moment? You know, we go ahead.
The thing that I wanted to point out, and I'm hearing an echo. Okay, it's gone. When Rob Anderson and I first met, it was at a Comic-Con. It was in February of 2020. It was really early last year. From there, because of his book, because of Barbara Unleashed, I basically went to Geek Insider and I said, I want to talk to Rob and I want to interview him about this book. I don't think that it's getting enough attention. And it was so funny because we got you on the show. It was really our first time talking to each other. And I could see you. It looked like you were tensed up. You were sitting there and you were like, I'm waiting for these jackals to come after me and Barbara. And it wasn't that long afterwards when you realized we read it. And you could see you visibly relaxing and going, okay, now we're having an adult conversation. And that's the difference. It's like some people, they'll see the cover and they judge the book by the cover. They never look inside. Guess what? Guess what I'm learning? Okay, so because this is like my year one in comics. There are a lot of variant covers, you guys.
Word.
A lot of variant covers. You turn the page and it's not the art that you were expecting. Okay, I've been disappointed in a lot of comic books that I've gotten because of that. And some of them pleasantly surprised. Not that many. But let me tell you something. When you get something like that and you just want to make a snap judgment without looking inside, without reading it, without having any depth or any kind of perception of it beyond that cover, it's not the creator who has the problem. It's you.
Yep. And I do want to say on the following Friday, where we'll have a regularly scheduled Freaky Friday, I do want to talk about how we have made it okay to sexualize women any way we want, but we don't want to talk about actually sexuality and women enough. Like, it's weird. We can make women sexual objects, but we can't talk about the sexuality that goes into it. We can't talk about how there's this disconnect of we won't talk about sexuality, but we'll talk about who people can marry. We'll talk about who can date who. We can talk about what you can do in the world that's acceptable. And it always threw me, even as a young kid, that you could tell anyone who, look, I like who I like. We all have a type. We all have our own sexual all attractions. I can't get the word out. And we have our kinks and our fetishes. That's all who we are. But we don't give each other enough room to be who we are. But then when it comes to women, exploit the hell out of them. Exploit them any chance you can, or you can, but don't ever talk about how to sexually satisfy a woman. No. Don't talk about that publicly. Oh my goodness. I want to talk about a vibrator. They're dangerous. You know what it is? And I don't understand that. I don't get the competitiveness with it. And it's guys talk about that stuff, but they don't talk about it in a healthy way. That's kind of what we're trying to do with this program. We're not beating you over the head with the stick. We want you to really see the absurdity of it and understand that talking about your sexuality, it's a good thing. How do we know that? Because outside of America, most countries do. There's less jealousy, less people getting hurt in relationship, less people being murdered over things like this. These are real happenings. America's also, and I hate to say it, but statistically, from what we understand, rape is a real problem in America. And we need to start realizing that we need to start having these bigger conversations, especially about consent. Evil people are evil people. There'll always be evil people. But there's a lot that comes down to consent. And the joke about alcohol wasn't meant that we should do it. It's something that really happens. And it's a joke to me because of how common this is an idea that is acceptable. You go back to watching Cheers. How many of you guys have watched Cheers in your life?
Oh, yeah.
Watch it now and tell me you don't cringe when they talk about getting someone drunk to have sex with them. When they talk about coercion of sex, you really stop and go, oh my God, I watched this as a kid. Forget Dr. Seuss. Sam Malone abused women emotionally, lied to them.
Yeah.
And I can't watch that show anymore. And I loved it growing up, but as an adult, you're like, I mean, I saw a friend the other day go, oh, look at this little number talking about a woman. And it was an actress, but little number. And we have to stop dehumanizing people and making them objects. And I've said it on this show, and I've said it personally. I was raised to make women objects. They were something to obtain and to aspire to. It was the culture I was raised in. And I didn't notice it till the Me Too movement. And I suddenly started realizing that women aren't trophies. You have to look at their humanity, and you have to always treat them as your equal. And that even means, like, just because they're attractive, just the hottest girl in the world isn't necessarily better than me. She's just hotter than I am. There are aspects to all of our humanity we have to start looking at. Some of that comes down to sexuality, you know? And, you know, a lot of people want to play that blame game. Well, women tease men, but no, we have to get away from finger pointing. I mean, what do you guys think? Because I think we're so confused in America sexually. It's actually, it'd be funny if it wasn't so sad. Wow, I got them all.
Well, the reality of it is there are women who do tease men. They do want the attention. The problem is when the finger pointing starts because they got the attention. Like, seriously, it happens. We flirt. I mean, I'm not saying that any woman that's ever been raped asked for it, but it does happen. Sometimes as women, we objectify ourselves.
Well, I think that's also the culture we're raising you in as women. There was this commercial I saw. This girl was trying to read about science, and her teachers pointed to something else, and she winds up in home economics. This girl tries to go outside and play in the dirt. The dad comes in and washes her up. The girl winds up trying to build a science project, and the dad just says, "I'll do it, go away," kind of thing. Right. And then you see her staring at this thing that says about, looking for young scientists, and it looks like she's looking at it, and then all of a sudden, all you see her doing is using the reflection to put on makeup. And it was, wow, what are we raising our young women to do? We make them cheerleaders, not athletes. You don't have really male cheerleaders for women's sports, do we? Go to the WNBA. You don't see a bunch of guys in G-strings jumping around.
That's true.
I mean, we have to start looking at these things and realize that we're raising the next generation and they're watching us. And I'm not trying to cancel cheerleaders. You know, like if they're that, let me tell you, that is some athletic stuff. That's some next level stuff that, and if a woman wants to do that, that should be allowed. But we also have to be very careful to also let a young lady know, why don't you join a sport? You can do science. I think we have to stop putting beauty pageants on. I think honestly, there should be no beauty pageant. Anyone is allowed to enter before they are 18. I do not think anyone should be judged for how they look until they are 18 years of age. Because I think it starts there. And I think that no woman should be able to model underwear until they are of legal age. You'd be amazed how many young women are used as models for underwear ads. And that, again, you're objectifying when you won't see that with a male. And we have to start looking at these double standards, and we have to start appreciating and empowering the young women of today so they grow up without feeling the pressure. Because I can see it. I can see it in the world. Go ahead, Meredith.
Right.
Well, I was going to say that the responsibility isn't on men alone or women alone. It is everybody.
For sure.
You know, one of the things, and it's not necessarily about sex, but it's about attitude. When I was going through my divorce, I was, you know, I felt beaten and broken down spiritually, emotionally, psychologically. I was done. And I had stayed with a marriage that I probably shouldn't have as long as I did. But, you know, for me, it was just like, oh, the greater good is my children. It's better to have this family unit. And then I woke up to this idea that I don't want to be that woman that my kids aspire to have for their girlfriends or their wives. You know, and I know that sounds weird. It's not the Oedipus complex or anything like that I'm talking about. I'm talking about they see me as an example of what other women could be. You know, so I wanted to work and say, hey, you know what? I've got a work ethic. I'm loyal. I can juggle many things, and I'm not going to take shit from anybody. You know, I'm going to stand up for myself. I am stronger than this woman who's just going to bow down and be okay with bad behavior. I'm not that woman. And guess what? When you're out, you know, and this is not something that I would be like bonking my kids on the head with. I've got 3 boys. All right. And trust me, in the atmosphere that is today, I worry about them, you know, and it's not fair. But I wanted to, as a woman, show them that there is more than being the meek, mild, and submissive woman. I never saw my parents fight. I never saw it. So I didn't know it was okay. You know, I want my kids to have that reality. It's like, it's okay to have an argument and get over it. We don't have to break up just because we disagree. And somewhere along that line, I think my kids translated because, you know what, they've got great partners. And I think that they're strong women. And I want to say, you know, maybe I took part in that. Maybe they saw an example of somebody that they wanted in their life that they can deal with and but you know what? Handle situations that come to you, whatever might come, and overcome those obstacles together. And, you know, even with Rob, I call him my work husband, you know, it's one of those things where we don't have to agree on the pathway, but the end result is there. It's like, okay, we'll do it your way. Let's try it my way. And it's that whole communication thing. But again, the responsibility of that lies with every individual to just say, you know what? I'm not taking the shit. If I'm not heard, maybe I need to get myself in front of a different audience. There's that too.
True. And back to what Rob was saying earlier, you know, in the past 10 years, there's been a huge movement towards putting younger females into sports, opening up soccer, even female wrestling teams as early as junior high school. And also there's a big movement for girls in STEM, so it's coming. The world knows that it's needed, but that's what I wanted to throw out there.
And I do want to pass this to see. There's nothing wrong with being sexual, though, during this whole thing. We're not ever saying that someone shouldn't enjoy their sexuality. Just like a man likes to look good when he dresses up, and every man knows how he wants to dress when he wants to impress a woman. Every man knows the shirt that looks good on him. It's the same thing with women. We have to admit, the first thing to getting over our problem is admitting we're supposed to be sexually attracted to each other. Now what we have to do is build the respect barriers. Understand, just because a woman dresses a certain way doesn't make it okay to do certain things or say certain things to her. How she dresses is an expression of how she wanted to feel that day. People need to be raised that way. And it starts in homes when parents call women sluts on TV. And I think that's a big problem. We already objectify women and we judge them because of the way that they dress. Everyone dresses funny. I think that preppies dress funny. I mean, I see them in their khakis, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? Do you not have any flavor in your life? Are you so vanilla I could put you in a cone? What do you think, C?
Okay. I grew up single mother household. I grew up with a lot of women. My question comes into this. Where do you draw the line between attraction and objection?
For me?
For anybody.
Well,
because I've seen women do the same thing to men. That's what I'm saying. So where do we draw the line? Where do we say, okay, you're being attracted to somebody, but now you're objectifying? When do we flip that?
It's the word uses. It's how we treat a person. Wow, you're attractive. You look beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. But when you go, oh, you should smile more, you're objectifying a person. You would look better if you smiled. You know what? If you lost a little weight, that outfit, you now made them an object. You've crossed over. When you're looking at them as something that can be toyed with, played with, changed. And you're right. Women do that to men. I have had women grab my ass and say, well, you're supposed to be happy because a woman touched you. Mm-hmm. Girls grab me in the crotch and be like, oh, I'm sure he likes it. And they found out that, no, I don't like being touched by people I don't want to be touched by. I actually am not some raging animal that will drop my pants because someone smiled at me. Right. And I do think women sometimes, I know there are women out there who are like, oh, you should be happy that I'm giving you my attention. I've walked away from women like that and been like, no, I'm a valuable person. So I see what C is saying. Yeah. And it starts, I think, in that moment where we don't see the humanity. We see each other as objects, conquests. You want to marry someone who has a good job, right? Why? Why do I want to? Don't I want to marry someone who's going to love me? Don't I want to marry someone who will ride and die? Like, really, not Harley Quinn shit, but like someone who will have your back. And trust me, you're talking to a divorced person when he got crippled, started being looked at differently by the ex's family and her in a lot of ways. So, I don't like to go into it on camera, but I trust me, there were things that were said that can never be unsaid and you can't take back, where I was made an object that should just do what I'm programmed to do and ignore my humanity. So I think that's it. See if that makes sense. It's
yeah, I guess I understand what you're saying. As far as the love thing is concerned, there actually has to be more. I'm sorry. When it comes to marriage, when you're spending your life with somebody, I've loved women before that if I had married them, I'd be in a very bad spot right now.
Especially that last hoe.
You're objectifying her. Anyway.
There it is.
But there it is. See? And that was my point. Because, and don't get me wrong, love is the foundation. However, there needs to be a little bit of brains that go along with this as well. If you see a woman continue to act a certain way that puts you as a man or a woman, I guess, in our society now, if we see a partner that puts you in a lesser position than where you should be as their partner, no matter how much you love somebody, you got to let them go. That's just how it is. Love is only the foundation, but you also have to use your brain and assess where is this going to go later on. And it's easy. It's not easy to do. That's not an easy thing to do. You don't know how somebody's going to be. That's the bad thing. Bad long shot.
Yeah, and you grow. You're gonna sometimes two good people can grow away from each other, and no one ever did anything wrong. Life just happens sometimes. You know, and it's hard. There's nothing easy about this, but when we start to make sexuality difficult to the point where you can't even talk about it to a teenager who asks you, because they're going to be curious and they're going to want to know about stuff. Not from parents either. The last thing most kids want to do is talk to their parents about sexuality.
That's why we jumped on ours early.
Yeah, because it's awkward. Because I got raised, I don't know about you, but from go, don't get a girl pregnant. I'm fucking 6. Don't get a girl pregnant. I'm like, what's pregnant? What's pregnant? You know, like, you better not knock up some
That's
girl.
what the relationship of sex is. Just that'll get you in trouble. Don't do it.
No, nowadays, as a parent, if you're not talking to your child by the age of 8 or 9, you can guarantee they're getting their sex education from their peers. And with our first child, that started to happen, and as soon as I caught it, pulled her aside and laid everything down. And as they have followed suit around the age of 8, 9, we start talking, and around 10, it's out there.
It's hard. And adults don't get sexuality because we all have different kinks, fetishes, and desires. And a lot of times, the biggest thing with the BDSM survey that I created was the fact that for the first time, couples were talking to each other. I would sell a book to a couple on a Friday. They'd come back to me on a Sunday and go, "Oh my God, I didn't realize what they would be telling me all the things that they're into in the middle of a con floor." They were so excited that they were saying these words out loud. You'd see people passing by, look at.
Yeah, well,
but it was
because that taboo had been lifted for them.
Exactly.
That relationship of that trust in a relationship is opened up and is broadened now. That, hey, you have the same type of desires that I have, and that brings us closer together. That doesn't push us further away.
And it's also I'm not the only freak in the world. You know why I like TikTok? You're all gonna laugh. You're all gonna laugh. Do you want to know why I like TikTok? It reminds me that women who are attractive are just as stupid and silly as me.
I can't even believe you're on TikTok, Rob.
I know, that's just crazy to me.
Wait, Rob's on TikTok?
Funniest things on
Rob
TikTok.
is totally on TikTok.
I am. I watch these things. I watch these women make these most, like, the hottest women in the world, funniest as hell, and they show the humanity. I like TikTok because TikTok's not like YouTube. YouTube is look at me, and don't get me wrong. TikTok has the bouncing boobs and all that stuff in it, but it also has people giving satire, and it has to be quick, so it has to be witty and funny, and it's wonderful. YouTube is like, I am this person, and I'm going to read my script now, where TikTok almost feels like it's just people venting. And I like that. It's got that 90s vibe to it. Remember when we didn't have anything to do and we had to wait to hang out with our friends and get stupid in a circle? That's what TikTok feels like to me sometimes, because the shit that people say. And it makes me giggle.
That was fifth period for me, but go ahead.
Yeah. But, I mean, nowadays we have this where we can't talk about sexuality. And you even try to talk about it, and it sometimes gets hijacked to be a political conversation. And you're like, I just wanted to talk about vibrators. I didn't want to talk about what the Pope just said. And it's like, geez, like, can we just talk about sex? So it is one of those things where I also think that it's been made political, which is very dangerous to make something that should never be political. I'm not trying to be political. I think you don't tell anyone who they get to sleep with outside of an age and consent. Those things obviously are important. But, like, beyond that, if it's two consenting adults, who the fuck are you to tell them what they can do? Seriously, in this land, like, let them do whatever they want to do. You know, those are two humans. They're two grown people, you know, as long as they're not mentally deranged. Like Joker and Harley Quinn, horrible relationship. Oh my God. Oh, did you see it? Did you see the whole new Justice League? The very end. Yeah. I love that part. But I mean, like, we had to get to this point where let's start celebrating good relationships. Like, I know that the prince and the princess, I forgot their names. Megan, the girl from America.
Oh yeah.
That recent Oprah interview.
Yeah.
They look like they're in love. And I gotta say, he left a fucking crown to be with her. There's nothing more baller than that. Like, here, no, I want to be with you. Peace out. Peace out, bitches. Keep all your crowns. I think we got to celebrate. And I know there's nothing perfect in life, but what happened to celebrating love? Think about all the shows you watch right now. How many things celebrate family and love nowadays? Name one show right now on that celebrates family and love. I can, The Connors. And it's the most dysfunctional, but probably the honest thing on television right now is one of those shows. But beyond that, I struggle. We don't have Seventh Heaven anymore. And no matter what you want to say, it was interesting.
They've got stuff like The Fosters.
That's not on anymore.
It's not. Did they take it off? See, I can't even keep up what's on anymore.
2 years ago, it actually ended. Because I didn't watch it.
2 weeks?
What's that?
2 weeks ago?
No, 2 years ago.
2 years ago? Really? You sure?
I thought it was. Maybe
I might be wrong. I don't know. I don't know.
I could be wrong. You know, sometimes they cancel something and they renew it. Mm-hmm. Maybe I missed the renewal.
Well, and then you've got but I'm not trying to run you down, but they have the Fuller House stuff that was on Netflix. They brought back Full House. Huh?
They got canceled. It's gone now.
No, it's not canceled. They ended it, but it lasted for 4 or 5 seasons, believe it or not.
No, it did, and I was very happy because I thought this was starting a new trend back to family comedies, which I really think we're missing.
They're not hitting as well because they're not. And to your point, they're not advertising them as much. They have some, but they're not advertising them as much. True.
Yeah, and it's weird. We'd rather have combative shows, I guess. Like I like The Rookie. I think that's a good show. It shows that you can always be whatever you want, no matter what stage you are in life. And I like shows like that. But like we get too much reality television. How did the Me Too movement come and go, and The Bachelor stayed on air?
South Park is still there.
What?
South Park is still there.
No, I understand South Park. That's funny. But like that, I mean, you're getting these women, and there must be an IQ test in reverse. Anyone who scores over 100, I'm sorry, you can't be here, honey. You have to go. You're too smart, and you're going to see through everything we're going to set you up for. And then you just put women against women to get one dude. Seriously? Some dude who's boring as hell most of the time. Like, I see this guy, and I'm like, women really want that douchebag?
But they flip the script, too. They do the Bachelorette, so...
Yeah, a bunch of guys trying to get one girl. That sounds very familiar. That's
so unbelievable. I could never believe that. I could never believe that.
Listen, Nita. A woman can decide when she wakes up, I'm going to have sex today, and I just don't know who with. No man except for baby Brad Pitt and Ryan Reynolds can wake up and say the same thing. Like, you have to be at that level, and even they have bad days. A woman has the choice because she ultimately is the person who gets to decide who the partner is. And that goes back to our genetic roots because the women got to choose who they were with. And it was based upon how a man basically presented himself. Here's the problem is that we use games. I say it all the time. Like, my friends are like, you have to learn how to flirt with girls. I'm like, why would someone want me good at that? Really think about that for a minute. Do you want a partner who's really good at picking up other partners? If they're really good at doing something, that probably means they're not good at committing to something.
Well, that's not necessarily true. I can be a heavy flirt sometimes and be completely harmless, have no intentions of going in.
No, I'm not talking about flirting. I'm talking about approaching strangers in public.
Oh, no.
Like, that's what I mean by the game. Like, I don't play games. I'll go up to someone who's big, hey, I'm Rob. And I'll see if there's a conversation. If there's not a conversation, I'll be like, oh, fuck it. Nice meeting you. And I'll just walk away.
For Meredith all the time. Don't I, Meredith?
I got more girls hitting on me when I was married. Just the truth, kids. Just the truth. I won't put any captions with that, but it was the truth.
It's the power of the ring.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I'm telling you.
Forbidden fruit, I've heard all that. But at the end of the day, sexuality is one of these things. Like, I mean, even we're talking about marriage, but what about polyamory? Polyamory is one of those things that people are very nervous about talking about. But we're forgetting monogamy is only a few hundred years old. We did 1,000 years ago. People really weren't getting married, guys. That's really not how it happened. People stayed together out of convenience and all that. Even the giving a woman a ring. I say this all the time. Someone has to explain this to me. And let me tell you, when I gave a ring, I got a television. That was the trade-off. That's right. because why would a man give something to a woman and not get something in return? I was like, I want a TV for that. Flat out, I was like negotiating thing. And she was like, what? I'm like, yep, I want a TV. She's like, but, and I'm like, nope. I was like, well, I'm good now.
You can keep your ring. I want
Still
that
have
TV.
the TV. Still have the TV. Don't have the marriage, but the TV works fine. But, you know, what do you guys think about the fact that we're so obviously lost in America? What's something positive we can give people to kind of get out of their own headspace? Because you can't just fill a room full of people that you think agree with you. It's the most dangerous thing in the world.
We could tell them to enter the continuum.
Right?
Definitely.
Yeah, we could tell them to enter the
Because
continuum.
apparently we're nothing but a naughty book now. So I've been told.
You know, in all honesty, we don't have an all ages story in there, but there isn't anything that is so.
All ages.
Is it?
It is very. Mike Steely is very, very big on making it a general audience like Marvel and DC. I wouldn't necessarily give it to a 2-year-old.
But that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's like, you know, kids who are maybe preteens. I would say.
Eclipse doesn't
you
really
go a little younger.
much. Yeah, it really doesn't. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
It's
see, like when I'm thinking like all ages, I'm thinking like elementary school kids. I don't know that they would read this. I mean, they might. It depends on the parents, you know. But there isn't anything in here that's so naughty that you can't. You know, we don't have the adult label on there because it's not explicit at all.
And we might do an adult book. Let me tell you, there might be a continuum that's meant for adults. When it is meant for adults, we'll tell you. And graphic violence is something we all talked about. Tell them about the rating system, Nita, and how we're going to use our logo to do that.
We're going to use a color-based system with the age scale. We're going to divide up into categories. We're going to have a general all ages, or a youth and an all ages and adult.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see it where Continuum Comics is exactly written out. So just in case you don't know what the colors are yet for our new, because we want parents to feel comfortable. Hey, my son brought home this book, but look, it's got the color for the all ages title. I know I'm okay. Wait, this one doesn't have that. Let me look at it and let me read it. Because guess what, parents? That's your job. I watch every show my son watches, so I know. That's how I know Caillou, that little son of a bitch, was the most awful cartoon ever.
Right?
I'm so glad they canceled him. What a snot.
And now his mom could beat his ass.
Two episodes in, I told my son, "You're not watching that," because he turned around to me and started whining. I was like,
"Oh no!"
We had to ban him too.
We banned that little bastard too.
Yeah. I looked at the TV. I'm watching the kid do what Jax is doing. I'm like, "Oh hell no! I don't see you watch that ever again."
Right?
That's it. But like, you gotta be a parent. Sorry guys, get off fucking Instagram. Get off fucking TikTok. I know it's fun. But save it for toilet time.
But stay here on YouTube.
Rob, you're TikToking on the toilet?
No, I'm watching TikToks on the toilet. I'm not TikToking on the toilet. I'm too old. I've already been told I'm too old. You're too old for this, old man. Fuck you. I might be your dad. I might be your dad. You don't even know it yet.
Oh, my God.
Because of that flirtation time in your life.
I've never taken one of them DNA tests. That's just a surefire way to get caught on some past child support.
He did.
Yeah. And guess what? It didn't come back positive. Thank you very much.
He was not the father.
Not the father. Thank you,
Let me tell you, I love that show. Oh my God, I am such a fan of those episodes.
But you hate The Bachelor. Wait a minute. That's as bad about as reality TV as anything you can get out there.
Yeah, that's real reality.
Oh my God.
Really, some lives are ruined or saved in that show. And I like it, and it's always like, let me tell you, I look at my son every so often and I'm like, do I need a DNA test? It's only when he does dumb things. Like when your kid does something stupid and you look at him.
Hell, I want a DNA test on him sometimes too.
And they came out.
There is no freaking way.
But I mean, this is an interesting point. A man never knows. A woman always knows who. Well,
Not always.
not always. I know because
Always.
C-section stuff, you don't see the kid. But most women nowadays actually never have the child taken from them. It always stays in the room with them.
Oh, I thought you were talking about who the father was for sure.
No,
Like,
no.
I've known some bitches that had a list.
I do too. So,
But the woman knows there's a chance that guy's not the parent. A guy doesn't know unless the woman tells him, and that's scary. Let me tell
Right.
you, like that is some scary stuff. As a man, I don't know. Someone says that they're pregnant. Like, are you allowed to ask for DNA? I think that would be a bad conversation. I'm pregnant. Shit, bitch. We're getting a DNA test. I don't think that's the right way. You know.
Wait till the delivery room. Here, let me hold the baby. Get one of them little hairs.
Swab. No. You just do the saliva test. Be like,
there you go.
Open your mouth, you little bastard.
And
They go to the bathroom. On the third floor down there.
They come out of the first thing a parent has to, like a dad has to ask is, could I have the DNA results, please?
Right.
Checking the blood. I'm like, have the blood chart. Let's see. He's this blood type. I'm that. What does that mean? Does it work? Because you don't know as a man. You really don't. And
Right.
you hear these stories. There's nothing scary. Like, God forbid, let's say that Jax isn't my son, which I know he is because of certain things, genetics and all that. We have very big similarities. But let's say that it ever came up that he wasn't my kid. I'd be destroyed. I don't think I'd walk out of his life ever. But, like, there's no laws for that. Do you guys realize that? Like, if a woman's just like, oops, I thought he was the parent. There's not one law. A guy can't sue for all the time he's lost, can't sue for the money back, can't sue for anything. There's no, you could try a lawsuit and try to win, but it's a scary time. It's just, that's why I like Maury. Because and let me tell you, man, I made that joke while the ex was pregnant. It did not go over well. But my ex was like, why are you getting nervous? Like, I became that person. Why are you nervous? You should be like, let's go to Maury. Let's go right now. You getting nervous is making me nervous now. It was definitely a bad moment. But back to the whole adult thing as we're going down Maury. I'm telling you, I want to watch Maury.
It's nice that we grow. It's nice that we grow with age.
I want to see the top 10 funniest things. I like when the guy like jumps up and down and the woman's just like, she knew, and this was her. I know there was one girl they brought back 10 times, and every time I was like, please no, please let it not be the dad.
Oh my gosh!
I just wanted her to try to explain that.
Some of them they'll try 20 freaking guys, and they've never found the father.
Like she gets like, oh shit, who could this be? Then you start wondering if the one DNA test was wrong. There was a guy who sent someone else. I'm advertising for more. Let's advertise for the Continuum. I'm just saying it's crazy, kids. It's crazy. But imagine that when I'm a creator who creates content for all people. I am careful. I would not have put this in this book if I had thought that it could be offensive. And I remember passing it to everyone and going, does anyone see it the way I don't see it? Like, is there anything in here that we could even think about tweaking and removing? Because I am lettering it. Yes, the character Barbara has boobs. She's a female. She happens to have boobs.
There it is, right there. That's the problem.
They're boobs. I mean,
breath.
Relax, guys. They're just boobs. They can't cure cancer, but they come damn close to most men.
And Mike says, I kind of feel Barbara got robbed. Just checking, no Barbara cover. Sad face, pouty lips.
Oh.
We didn't do the Barbara cover specifically because this is in honor of Keith Thomas, and I didn't want this. We put in as an extra. This was meant to be for the backers to honor Keith Thomas. I didn't want to feel like I was trying to sell our legacy for that, but there are covers for Barbara that you can get, especially in the upcoming Barbara Unleashed thing. So there'll be another Barbara Unleashed story. But again, this is just about awareness, and it's so sad that we live in a culture where I can't be associated with something that is adult,
that has boobs.
That has boobs. Oh, heaven forbid you guys talk about something in an adult manner, because I never read it, and I'm just going to make judgments now.
And then I'm going to go and read this thing that is ripping out people's, innards and whatever. That's okay.
Well, yeah, of course.
Violence is fine. Violence doesn't lead to anything. I mean, violence isn't linked to things like school shootings or anything. No, sure. I get you. Yeah. Okay. Let's just do more violent horror films. And I'm not blaming horror films. I'm just saying we have to watch content in general. you can't say one thing is really horrible while we're celebrating other things. I mean, I think that there's some things, and I've had problems with sexuality. There's a Batman book came out about 14, 15 years ago now. Catwoman just rides him on top of her.
What up? Oh, sorry.
Cool. So he's riding her, or she's riding him on top of, and it was graphic. I am not a prude at all. I hang out in places where girls' boobs are out, and I'm respectful, you know, look, of course, because if they're putting them out, they want them to be looked at, you know, appreciate it. It's like, that's why it's there. You can, you know, golf or clap as they walk by. You'd hold up signs if it's that night. But you want to be respectful, and you can be respectful. You can
that sounded like you were objectifying them there, Rob.
No, that's the nights. That's the whole point. It is like an objective. We're like literally holding up signs. You never got to those parties?
No, I can't say I have.
I'll take you one night. They're fun. They're fun. Me and my friends used to do that outside of, we were in Manhattan, and these girls would always walk by and be smiling. So one night we just started holding up signs. Funnest thing ever. There would be dudes like, yo, you talking about your woman? I'm like, what? Is she not worth a 9? Are you saying she's an 8? That's fucked up. I wouldn't take that from him. He'd be like, wait, you don't think I'm a 9? I'm like, see, honey, I think you're a 9. Yeah, I was bad in the 90s. Still am.
That sounds like trouble. I don't know about that.
It was fun trouble, though. It really was. Because, I mean, women want to get dressed up to look good. And let me tell you, women get dressed up when they go out for other women. I don't care what anyone says. It is always to look better than the other, and this is coming from a female friend. Better to look better than the other bitch in the room. That is how they put it. I get dressed up to look. It's like when I get dressed up for you, I just put on tight clothing and see-through stuff that I can. When we go out, that's to look good in public. There's a whole different set of rules, and I was like, I'm okay with the rules for home, because let's be honest. When a girl goes out, you guys wear heels. And let me just tell you, as the guy who's dated you when you've worn heels, you are miserable fucks when you wear heels. Especially when you're going into the city and walking a lot. You all think you look sexy. There's nothing sexy about angry face and complaining about your feet while rubbing them while they're bleeding. That's not my kink. I'm just saying.
I didn't even wear heels for my wedding.
See? I have combat boots. My next girlfriend's going to be wearing combat boots.
I wore white Converse underneath my dress. I wore a frilly dress, but I had my white tennis shoes.
Meredith knows what I say about marriage. I don't trust Meredith entirely. Why don't I trust you entirely, Meredith?
I would break my neck in heels.
Because I got married twice.
Who breaks out of prison and runs back to it?
In my defense, okay, when he proposed, I didn't even realize it. He basically wrote this really sweet thing in a card. And I was just like, no money in the card. And I just kind of tossed it. He was like, did you even read it? Man, he looked green.
Oh, wow.
I had no idea. We talked about not getting married, you know, because I'm wife number 3. He's husband number 2. Yeah.
See, all that, it's like, I barely got married. Like, my ex literally was worried I wouldn't show up because she knew how against marriage I was. Because I did it. I said, look, you're going to get married. And I'm not. I'm going to be good.
I told Pat, I'm like, you had your out. And you stayed.
So I guess Robin would consider Pat a repeat offender, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Pat's
dumb as a box of rocks, right?
No. Pat's the guy who got used to being inside prison. He's been outside. He can't live without the prison life.
He's acclimated to the prison life. He's got to have it.
He understands the rules of the prison yard. He does not do well outside. And I understand it. Now being outside of prison, there's all these weird... Like, you used to be able to look at girls and not worry about it because you had the wedding ring, right? Everyone, I'm just married. No, okay, sorry. But now, like, girls get mad at you because you don't flirt with them. And it's like, I'm just trying to use a workout bench. Like, you're sticking your butt in my face. Nice butt if that's what you want. But I'm busy. Come back to me when office hours aren't in. I don't understand, Meredith. I'm busy working out. I mean, this doesn't build itself. I do a lot of physical therapy to stay in this, like, doughboy shape. I can't help you every minute. I don't know. I'm going to stop talking. But no, seriously, I can't see myself ever getting married again unless she needs papers. Unless she needs the papers of the medical insurance.
Wow.
I'm just saying. I'm happy to be the papers person.
Man.
Because I don't know, man. But I say that not being in love.
And all of a sudden, every chick in India hits up Rob's inbox.
Ooh.
Hey, you know, I haven't tried that dating site. I haven't tried that dating site yet. Let me tell you, dating sites. Oh, they're magical. Some of the things. Like my favorite thing, I didn't realize this, is that you women have practiced posing your entire life. And I know this because there are certain women who pose in all the different pictures exactly the same. I'm like, oh my God, this is practiced. And I said that on Facebook and everyone was like, yep, that's right. Whole life. Been practicing since I was 12 to get that pose. I'm so glad the duck face is going away. As a minute, I tell you, we laughed at you as men quietly in our cave. We all have a meeting. It is true. Once a month, we all get together. You don't know because we say that we're going to work and you're all taking it like, okay, they're going to work, whatever, fuck them. No, we're going to the man cave and we're all talking about you. The duck face we didn't like, we just weren't going to tell you because we were enjoying how silly you all look. Now they're thinking, look, see, they're thinking, like, it's really amazing.
It's one of those things we decided we'll hold against you later on. Oh, you want to control the remote control? Remember Duckface?
Oh,
wow.
So much of that.
Trish is sharing a RussianCupid.com. I'm not hitting that link, Trish. I am not doing it.
I don't need any viruses on my computer.
That's the end of that hard drive.
And Enter the Continuum. Minutes to go, you guys. It has been a hard-fought thing. You know, and kind of circling back to what we were talking about before, when Barbara was introduced into the Continuum, we had a little bit of pushback. And it wasn't fair. It wasn't warranted. And, you know, the people who did that is, you know, unfortunately, they looked at the cover. They didn't look at the, you know, what was behind it. And that's really unfortunate because this is an amazing book. We've got 6 great stories in here. We've got 2 poems in here. I really wanted to push for the words because without the words, without the storytellers, we wouldn't have these books, quite honestly, you know? I mean, it starts from somewhere. It starts with the words. And this is the first of many. Trust me. Rob, I don't know. Do you want to kind of give a sneak peek into, I mean, not a sneak peek, but let's talk about what we want to do moving forward.
Well, let's quickly talk about because people literally only have a few minutes. Just tell them about the library card so anyone watching realizes how close they are to giving up 300 pages of digital greatness.
For just $1. Just $1, you guys. Yeah, for $1, you can get the PDF library card. We have so many people who have stepped up and said, "Hey, I want to be a part of this. I've got a book, and here's the PDF. I want to be a part of this." I mean, it's just amazing the people who have come together for that. For $1, you can get the PDF pack that is going to be delivered to your inbox. For $5, you get the PDF with our standard cover. You get all 6 stories plus the 2 poems and the library card. I mean, it's really not a lot. We've got minutes left, you guys. This is it. Let's finish with a bang. Rob, how many do you have that final count? Because last I talked to you, you were saying you were still accepting PDFs.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Mike to come in the room with us because we want him to be here for our moments. Yeah, we're still taking it. We're still taking the PDFs. Mike, you see, I just invited him. I want him on here with us. Mike is a huge part of this. We want to celebrate this with 3 minutes. We're still accepting we'll accept the PDFs until we send it out. So there's that 2-week cool down period after it. Mike has been invited officially, so we're going to get him on the show right now. Hopefully he comes and joins us, and we'll get him to be part of the conversation. But we got stuff already. Oh, I'm in the wrong screen. We have stuff already planned for the future. We have stuff coming to the Continuum for a 2nd, 3rd, and even possibly a 4th issue, because we were talking about doing an all ages Continuum, ironically. And we want to have this to be for everyone. We want people to be excited. We're serious about creating this this huger story huger collection of stories is what I'm saying, of a library. So we want people to be in. So this has been an exciting thing that we have done together, and we're hoping Mike shows up. So I don't know. Like, what do you guys? I don't even know what else to say other than this has been a fantastic show of support from everyone who's backed it, who shared it. So many people have been involved. Thank you. Everyone stepped up in this room like you wouldn't believe. People have, including C, who's helped us out with some amazing art with Karma and, of course, Reapers. We want to thank Russ Leach, who stepped in and, after he had a contractual issue, said, I still want to help you. How can I help you? And he worked with us to find a way to move forward. We're so honored to have him be part of this, and this made it a limited edition. We're just excited about everything that's going on. So I don't have words for it.
And if you could mention the limited edition, why and why you want this book?
Russ Leach has allowed us to print this once, so whatever we print, this will be it. Then it'll become what now is just, and it didn't start this way, but it'll become all creator properties of the partners of Continuum. We'll all be involved with what will be in the first issue, and it's crazy. It's crazy that we started with. I was talking to Mike over dinner. We had 5 stories when we started this. Only 2 have remained unchanged, and Trish had said it yesterday. She said, and this blew me away, and I loved when she said this. She said it's a better project now than what it was. So here we are, red letters. Still nervous, like you always get nervous at these moments. One day, maybe you guys will understand what really went on to get to this moment. But for now, just thank you. Thank you to everyone who shared it. Thank you to everyone who talked about it, who put it out there. You guys are all super, like, I'll never forget the show of support we had. I mean, we had to change so much, and no one even balked or blinked an eye. They trusted us. They let us make the changes we had to make. And this is it. This is a whole month of over a month of our life comes down to the countdown. So take it, Meredith.
2, 1, 0. Woo! Campaign is over, you guys. Thank you so much. I mean, honestly, I have seen other campaigns cancel for a lot less than what we went through. We went through a lot of adversity, a lot of change, and it was just sheer determination. We hit the ground running, you guys. We're not going to stop. And I am so proud of the team that we have together. I am so proud of these stories. You are really, I mean, I don't even know how to put it into words. I think that you're really going to love these characters. You're going to see them develop as time goes by. This is not the last of Karma or Reapers, Eclipse, Wolf, none of. You're going to see so much more. And make sure that you head over to our Facebook group. We've got people who are friends of the Continuum. It's for backers, it's for supporters, it's for creators. Go in there and give it some love. Join us. And if you've got stories and things, honestly, it started with C and I had a conversation, and then it developed into a story. Yep. I mean, that to me was magic.
Now, Meredith, as we're leaving the stage, why don't you show what your next going to be in?
What? Oh, you mean the diet?
No. What?
No.
Crowdfunding you're going to be part of.
Oh, the next crowdfunding. No, give me a clue, Rob, because I am tired. Trust me.
We did it together too.
Oh God, yes. Oh my God. Okay. I had a great. I have been on Kickstarter brain for 30 days, you guys.
We want to get this funded tonight. We want to. There's another project. We want to help them.
There is another thing. Let me share my screen because I do have it up.
And I'm going to disappear for a minute, and that's because I'm putting the surveys out for the Continuum tonight.
Do it.
So I will be right back.
All right, and I am finding my my monitor here, sharing the screen. Look at this, you guys. Indie Vault Revolt Sequential Art Collection by Randy Zimmerman, 98%. It's over on Indiegogo. Seriously, really not too much to go to hit 100%.
Yeah.
They've got 56 days left. It's a 60-day campaign, a unique collection of self-contained comic stories by IndieVolt contributors and fans. They've got a minimum of 4 covers in this flip book. I don't know if they're adding more, but with 60 days, you don't know. Hey, I'm only going by our campaign. Things change, and there's a lot to look forward to. You've got a Daphne Lage cover here. I know Nita is all for that, and
Absolutely.
matched with Only Death Can Save Us. I mean, some of these covers are just really amazing. They are so close. Go ahead. See, I think I heard you talking. I'm in a different screen.
Yeah, we were number 1.
Yeah, we were first backers.
Oh, were you?
Oh yeah, jumped all
Very
over that.
cool. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, these covers, and then you've got the retailer perk here, and
you got Marv in there. Russ Leach is also around in there, so Yep.
I mean, take a look at these covers. This is cover set 1, where you've got Daphne Lage and Russ Leach. Let me see here. Cover set 2, Jetpack Girl and Retro Ram Revolting. I mean, so many people have come together to submit their stories. It is in black and white, and with the flip book. And I love the idea of the flip book because it's like 60 pages minimum, from what I understand. And so you get to that, and then you flip it over. You've got another cover. You got 60 more pages of comics.
And see, it grows as they get more backers.
Yeah.
So it's not just one. It's minimum 60, but it will grow as soon as they get more backers.
Mm-hmm.
So
and you know what? Honestly, I was not sure because I sent in my page. I said to Randy a while ago. I said, I have 4 pages, and at the time it was still developing. And he says, yeah, that sounds great. And he did this really quick sketch. Which we used for the layout. C. Michael Lanning, actually did the art for it. And I'm not going to say what it is at this point in time because it hasn't been officially announced. But I got the green light, and he's got the pages, and we're kind of going back and forth and stuff like that. So, I might have something in the IndieVolt Revolt. You never know. But right now, we just want to give the creators who are part of this, we want to give them some love. Yep. Give this book a share. And I know Indiegogo is, if you're looking at your budget right now, I'm telling you, you got some money, some stimulus money. Maybe you want to put a little bit towards this campaign. Oh, what?
So controversial.
Oh, I don't mind being stimulated a little bit. I'm just saying. Oh, yes. And to celebrate, because this is kind of a crossover with RAGIN, we've got our reaction video that we're going to do. And we were waiting until 1, Nita was feeling better, and 2, something to celebrate.
Hold it up too.
And you know what we're doing? This is okay. So the story behind the Screwball whiskey. I was at the liquor store. We were looking for things that we were going to maybe not do challenges for necessarily, but reaction videos. And I asked the guy behind the counter, I said, what is that? I saw Screwball and I love the name. And he goes, oh, that's peanut butter whiskey. And I was like, that sounds disgusting. I'll take 2. And then Nita said, oh, well, see wouldn't mind doing that. So I got another one. Right?
You haven't even taken this one yet. What are you doing?
She's on mute.
You're on mute. See?
All right. So are we ready? Are we ready?
I need something to wash it down with.
I've got
peanut butter whiskey.
This is going to be nasty. This is a nasty combination. I've got my Screwball peanut butter whiskey, and I've got my Dr. Pepper cream soda. I've got water. I've got coffee. I don't know. This is going to be gross.
I'm going to chase it with some Crown.
Oh God. All right, it's open. My husband's choking in his sleep. That will be my fate, you guys. I'm destined to like.
It smells like ass.
It does.
It smells
All right,
like
so
ass.
Are we gonna? I don't know if I can down the whole thing. I know I'm gonna take a sip, and I'll finish the bottle before we're done. But this little, you guys ready?
All right.
So cheers to a successful campaign to the Continuum. May we continue creating and having fun. Rob, you ready? I know you don't have one, but cheers.
Cheers.
All right.
Great job. Surveys are out. All of our surveys are out, guys, while they all deal with the taste in their mouth.
You know what, though?
That is actually not bad.
That
It's not
aftertaste is good.
terrible.
No,
The
that is not
aftertaste is
terrible. Yeah, I would like
weird.
totally like slurp down some Hershey syrup behind this shit, and
That's not bad. I thought
It's
it would be
not.
like totally disgusting.
it's an alcoholic Reese's cup. Holy
Yeah.
shit, Meredith!
I think I found a new favorite.
Right? Whew.
Don't die. Tris says, "Good luck. Don't die."
That was not bad. Holy crap,
I'm drinking on an empty stomach, so I have
Meredith!
gold
You had 2 tablespoons of alcohol. You're gonna be okay.
on a totally empty stomach because that hit my. You know when you have.
I
like,
can feel
milk
it.
in your
I just felt
belly?
it go. Psh,
Yeah,
felt the
that
burn. Just
All right, surveys are out, and we're already getting people filling them out. Thank you.
right on. Get on them things.
awesome. Do it.
We're,
Do
and
it.
let me tell you, we're planning to get
Yep,
these books.
there
We're
it
going to
is.
spend the next 2 weeks because we have a 10-day waiting period to get the money for the printer. We'll spend next week building the rest of the book, putting it together, getting it ready, sending it to the printer at the end of next week, which means the PDFs are going to go out the day we get the money from
Sweet.
Kickstarter. You will get the PDFs immediately. We'll probably send out the PDF packs starting next week because that we like the we'll send that out and then we'll send you out the PDF. Now, of course, the PDF is going to be bigger than the book itself. Everyone who backed it gets that special thing. So there's behind the scenes that we're going to be adding in, cool little stuff. Who knows? Maybe we'll put in a little docudrama story about some of the things we dealt with while putting this up. Maybe like a Law and Order type little short story just for the backers to see all the experiences we had. You have to wait and see.
I wish Mike would have made it because
I
I
think
just
he fell
wanted,
asleep on us.
man, I just wanted to tell you guys, like, I fucking love y'all so much. This was fucking insane. Like,
Amen.
this was insane. If we can survive this Kickstarter, we're gonna fucking dominate this shit.
We came to create, and that's what you're going to see from us. You're going to see that the attitude that you saw, no one understands the stuff we had to jump through to get.
Not even.
And you didn't understand it because we didn't once burden you with what we were dealing with. We always thought of you first and how we could make this special, better. And I mean, we got more of C's art. We got more of Seeley's art. We won. This book, it's beautiful. It is so beautiful. The fact that it's in a limited edition, thank you, Mike, for filling it out. The fact that this is a limited edition book, I can't even express to you guys how amazing that makes it feel. Because this is a special moment. And I mean, Nita, C, Meredith, and Mike, I know you're not here, but in case you watch it later, you all did a fucking amazing job.
And dedicated to Keith Thomas.
Right.
So important to me. I miss him. I respect him. I'm glad we got to put him in the Hall of Fame. It was the right moment, the right thing to do to reward everyone. You are all fantastic, who backed us, who supported us, who didn't balk. You all saw the updates and were like, cool, we're getting something different.
Right.
It's something exciting. We had 2 people back out on us. I'm not going to throw any shade on anyone who backed out on us. They had their reason, but only 2. So we had 120 backers throughout the whole campaign. 2 backed off. We're there, guys. I mean, this is a show that we are determined, you know.
Oh my gosh.
And some people prove their worth so much. I got to shout out to Russ for doing what he did.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that guy proved that he's a stand-up guy. No,
Yeah.
You can never say anything bad about Russ Leach. Not to me.
No.
Anyway. I'll never.
He has been
believe it.
awesome. He has shared our campaign through the trials and tribulations. He has continued to push for us and comment and like our post. I mean,
gave us that amazing cover.
That amazing cover.
Absolutely.
That amazing story. I mean,
and guys, we came within $1 of doubling our goal.
I know.
I
I
know.
was like,
I was like, just go on.
No, I take that. That's how amazing this
I'll
was.
take it. I'll take it.
We'll take it. That's
all day.
99.9% funded.
As many curveballs and monkey wrenches that were thrown into this campaign, I would have been happy with the $1,111.
Yeah, amen to that.
Like that alone would have been something to celebrate.
And we had the problem.
Knocked this shit out of the park.
And we started having those problems at 80 backers, which goes to show you almost 40 backers later, people still believed in us. They didn't lose faith in us, and trust me, we're not going to forget that.
Never.
For you guys, for those who just got the survey, you're now invited to a group for backers only. We have not let anyone out. We will not let in. This is for you guys. You'll hear things as we're working on them. You'll get previews before it hits. Like when we talk about we have something to announce in that group, you'll see it beforehand.
Yep.
That is the type of group that's going to be.
It's a free Patreon. What up?
Yeah, it really. And you'll be able to reach us. It'll be one of those things where when you ask us a question, we'll answer it. We're going to be very active. This is our thank you for the support, because there's something that needs. We don't want to be disconnected from you guys.
No.
We want to hear your experiences. We want to hear your reviews. I can't wait for people. I mean, everything in this book is just. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm on this planet to do, to create books like there. I am proud, and it hasn't even got to print. Until the minute I hold this book, I might tear up.
Right? Oh my God.
Oh,
I almost cried.
I
almost cried when it went to zero. When it zeroed out, it was like, you're bigger than this.
No, it was a moment. It showed that we never gave up. Like Meredith said,
right.
I don't believe that there are many people who wouldn't have just panicked, ran, and said, well, this is never going to work.
I won't even lie. With the first initial jab, it was like, okay, man. Like, I hate to be the fucking one to do it, but, maybe, just maybe. And then it's like, as soon as I saw you with your, just that little, I saw the spark in you, Rob, and I'm like, nah, man, I got your fucking back. We got this. And it was just,
and
from there.
I said this earlier, that teaming up with the people that we have, all right? Now, if anybody who watched RAGIN and watched the Reapers Challenge, Reapers for Reapers, when we launched, and I knew that I had to concede, because there was no beating this one down. There was no winning when she hit that point and she said, no, screw you. I'm winning no matter what. And that was the attitude that we needed. And that is the attitude that we all had getting this done. And so, you know what? Okay, that happened. That sucked. Guess what? We have an avenue to pivot. And we did exactly that. And we came out
bigger, better, and bolder than before.
Oh my God. It's like, you know what? I wonder, and it makes me wonder when and if all of that stuff didn't happen. I mean, it really, in my mind, it solidified us as a team.
Absolutely.
We can overcome whatever comes our way. And guess what? At the end of the day, we're still creating.
A normal crowdfunder is going to bore us now.
We are still delivering books. I'm like, the next one, oh, thank God. I hope it's smoother. Trust me.
No.
Like we were touching this thing every friggin' day. It's like, okay.
Every day.
And the fact that we were able to pivot and bring something more, bring something better, is amazing. I mean, I cannot be happier. This is the dream team that I've always wanted, because quite frankly, up until this point, I always felt like I was kind of solo.
And I've seen that with you. I've seen people bail on you. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say,
Rob too. Go ahead.
Looking from the outside in, you guys went balls to the walls on this.
We did.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Y'all pulled off a miracle. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. You did an awesome job, every one of you.
And the only thing in the room that we always talked about was the backers. Everything we did was for the backers. It was never about us. We always said we'd deal with us later. And there are things we have to deal with in the comic.
Oh, absolutely.
We will be dealing with. But for now, it was about the backers. Once the backers have their books, there's some things we'll have to address, and we will be getting there. But for now, it's about the backers. And by the way, for the record, I want to congratulate everyone on the birth of Continuum Comics LLC in the room.
What up? Oh my God.
We're a registered business now.
Holy shit. I am fucking.
It's weird to start. It's weird to start a business in the middle of a Kickstarter.
It is. Oh my God.
The old company that was there, we won't go by there, but they had a name, and that name kind of talked about creation, and something did get created out of that. It's called Continuum.
Continuum Comics.
The parts that we're creating came together and made something, and that something is going to continue to grow. All the parts that were putting their heart into it came together and did exactly what we promised. And I'm so proud of that fact. That is the struggle. That is the hero moment. That is the Avengers coming together at the right moment. You know, and that's what we saw from our point of view, looking at this. Like, we could not fail the backers. The backers needed to be shown that their trust in us, their support in us, their belief in us demanded that we take them serious and reward them. And
right. Those numbers staying the same, going and looking, just knowing that one or two people were going to back out, and they just stayed. They remained.
Nobody did.
Steadfast.
Oh my gosh.
Just two.
And them, yeah, but they don't count.
Yeah, one of them.
They don't count to me, because if I could have gone back and if I could have unbacked the campaign myself, I would have. But anyway, it was too late. Long story short. But yeah. Our fans remain loyal, and for that, they will be rewarded.
Yeah. Yep. And this is only the beginning. This is a commitment of 100 issues, and after everything it took out to put one, damn sure we're gonna get 100 now.
Dude,
I believe it. I believe
we got this.
Like I said, what I have seen happen in the past 2 months is mind blowing. I'm on the sidelines, guys. But it's mind blowing. So yeah, I totally believe this is the birth of a new company. Period.
Yeah. And
a successful company. Let's say.
Well, here's the beautiful thing. We don't own unless the partners decide that the IP belongs to Continuum Comics. We don't own anything. We will never, ever, ever stop a creator from bouncing,
leveling up
higher. Leveling up and going elsewhere. We actually, and I think I can mention it. Austin Janowski was originally in the book Dawn of the Dead. There and because of the contracts and things that happened, all right, and we were transparent about that. It freed him up to level up and do something else, and that is going to happen. We don't expect anybody to be like exclusive to us. I might have a story or an IP that stays because I love this company and I want to see it grow there. But that would never stop. Nobody here would ever stop me from leveling up if it was picked up elsewhere, if there was a bigger opportunity. And that's the thing. If this is the springboard for people or a rejuvenation for something that was old, lost, and rediscovered, that's what we want to be. It is all about creating good books and entertaining the fans. That's what it's about. And I am so glad that I found my people. For the longest time, I was like, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Guess what? I'm doing it. And I finally feel like I found home.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I agree with you, but the whole thing is I knew I wanted to be when I grew up, not grown up, and I'm still not going to be grown up, and I'm going to make comic books with some amazing people.
Right.
And anyone wondering if, just as a public thing, Continuum doesn't have competition with any other publisher out there doing anything, and that's not to say that this isn't a market and all that. What I'm trying to say is we don't look at them as competition, because we're not focusing on anyone else. We're not trying to kneecap anyone else to get ahead. We have a clear vision forward, and we are competing with ourselves every day. And we are competing with our fans in the way that we're trying to raise their expectations of what it'll mean to be
raise that bar until we're feeling the heat again.
Yeah, and we're going to continue to bring them things, and it's going to challenge them, and it's going to be something different here. We're going to try this. There are going to be unique things we're going to try every so often. Not all going to hit. They're not all going to work, but we're going to try them because it's worth trying these things. So don't think for a second that we're not out there also cheerleading. You know, recently I said I was giving up on advocating.
Oh, no, he didn't. Sealy, come on, dude.
You got the link. Come
And
on.
you know what?
Come on.
The other thing
Come
that
on,
I want to
Sealy.
do is I want to give a tip of the hat to Rob, because it was this vision that was birthed in the Advocator to bring creators together. And I don't want to say it was a full pivot, but we took the good ideas. He took the good ideas from that and just said, let's level up. And that is the common theme. That is the common theme that we're going to do as creators. If you're a newbie, I'm a newbie, you guys. This is my first year. Okay. I want to level up. I want to learn as much as I can. I want to have my fingers in everything just so that I have a basic knowledge of the terminology, what works, what doesn't, and to be surrounded by creative people who are driven to create no matter what adversity they might be going through, whether it's something personal or whether it's something professional, you know, just to rediscover the love of creating work, creating your voice and putting it out there is just amazing to me. And I'm blown away. I really am. But it did start as the brainchild of Rob Anderson and what he's done with the Advocator and advocating for creators.
It's just everything every creator's ever talked about. Us working together, creating something together, making a bridge between pro and amateur where we all can come and play, making a space where everyone is welcome, so long as you don't have hate in your heart and you're not trying to drag anyone down. Just follow the pair standard. I don't want to hear what groups you're part of. I don't care what you do on the weekend. I don't care who you are. I care what you're doing to the fans, to the backers, to the people who support us. You respect them, respect the people you're working with. You'll never have a problem with me. You try to draw lines, you try to hurt people, then you might meet the devil inside. But you don't do that, and we're bringing it along famously. That's what I'm saying. Like, we want to see Randy and Arrow Comics rise. We want to see all of comics rising together. This is a time where we can stand together. Comics are on a rise.
Right.
This is the last time we see a rise like this for another 10 years because it comes in cycles. It's time that we all ride the wave and prepare for the future.
That's it.
And bring the young audience with us. Let's get the kids reading comic books. Let's get creativity here, because guess what? All this Netflix stuff, people get tired of it. Comic books lets the mind take over.
Right.
It draws in the imagination. They have to fill in what goes in between the panels. We want to inspire the imagination to continue to grow, because we need a lot more imagination and a lot more love in this world.
Yes.
And comics can be that gateway. So I'm nothing but respect to I'm not kneecapping. You're never going to see Continuum Comics ever try to get in the way of anyone. We're only going to work with anyone. Someone comes up to us and says they have a contract thing. If we can pull them out, we'll pull them out. If it's too late and it's been sent to printer, we're going to be like, can't help you this time, but if you want, we won't reprint it. We're here to work with people, not hold them down. That's it. And it's also about you backers. It's always going to be about you backers. You're going to tell us what you want. We're going to listen, and we're going to deliver. That's our goal, where you're going to see us continuously deliver things that entertain you. And that means doing the best we can every day and leveling up, bringing new people in to teach us. Russ gives us this amazing, think about it, even our cover changes in the middle of it. Russ hands us this golden goose of a cover platform that we then put different signage on, and it came together, and we kept moving forward. And we're going to keep moving forward. And with that, I do think we should wrap the show up, because we're just going to start sounding silly now.
Yeah, because all we're doing, I feel like I'm rubbing my own balls, but man, I can't help it.
But it's also the moment
to know what we did. Holy shit. It's like you want to shout it from the fucking rooftops, man. All right, Meredith, throw our dudes. Let's get out of here.
Are we throwing our dudes? Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm in the wrong
throwing our
room. I'm
dudes
in
on
the
a
wrong-
fucking Freaky Friday.
I'm in the wrong room.
Go
Hold
find
on a
them
second.
little bastards. They belong here.
They do. They do.
And really quick, Meredith cheated. I'll be back for season.
Oh,
Oh, quit your
Oh,
bitching.
boy.
Quit your bitching.
well, I don't need to play the video that I won.
No, you
And
don't, because it's
No,
copyright
do it
infringement.
one more time. Do it one more time.
There's legal matters
one more
going on,
time.
Meredith.
Let's
There will be
do it.
lawyers calling you.
do we play it
Fuck our
one more
dudes.
time?
Fuck our dudes. Let's go out on the
We'll do
continuum.
that. We'll do that, and then we'll do our dudes. All right. You guys
All right.
have a great night. Thank you so much for all the backers who are part of this. We appreciate you. Keep an eye on us.
We
There is
love you
more.
guys.
There is more to come. I promise you.
Are you ready to enter the continuum? This 40-plus page book is packed with unique stories that will tempt you with their tales.
See what craziness ensues when a cosplaying Wolfman meets a cosplayer with dark desires. They are brought together thanks to Into the Suck. This is a monster of a cosplay. An unwitting treasure hunter stirs a ghost from the past when he finds a lost artifact in the marshes. This is By the Sword. In the wake of a tragic event, a superpowered being has become a person of interest and is being hunted by a fixer that the U.S. government has sent. This is Eclipse.
Every deed has a reward or punishment. Karma's job is to make sure you get exactly what's coming to you.
When spirits can be harvested and sold for energy, the Ragtops must navigate psychic vampires, alien reverends, and other money-hungry groups to reap that sweet, sweet spiritual gold.
A newly divorced heroic duo must come to grips with the end of their relationship while trying to find a way to work together to protect the city they both love. This is the beginning of Wolf and Fox.
And we're out of here, you guys. Thank you. Have a great night.